Hi, I'm David Frangioni, publisher and CEO of Modern Drummer Magazine, and we are here today as part of our podcast with Jacopo.
This is Vinny Colaiuta
and Kimo Williams. Please check out our Red Summer 1919. It's streaming now.
It's a must listen.
Also with Mike Stern, Richard Bona, and Michael Brecker. Find out more at jkimowilliams.com.
Jacopo, welcome, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Jacopo Volpe plays with Post Malone. And this is your first tour with Post?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how's the tour going?
It's such an honor for me to be here in this tour. And yeah, it's simply amazing to be here and be able to be here.
So you're from Italy?
Yeah.
Right? You shared with me you're from Rome?
Yeah.
And then when do you find the drums? How does your drumming journey begin?
Actually, when I was like 4 or 5, something like that. And yeah, there's always been like music in my family because my dad plays piano, organ, like Hammond and stuff. So I was always surrounded by music since when I was a little kid. And
you find the drums at 4 or 5, seeing your dad as a musician.
Yeah, because
there's instruments around, there's music playing.
Yeah, and also I have this flash in my head that when I was like 4 or something, I used to watch Elton John live at Wembley because my dad had this video cassette. So I always was pointing to the drummer.
And who was the drummer? Do you remember? Was it Jonathan Moffat? Or
I don't know.
What you remember? What year?
No, it was probably early 90s.
Early 90s. Okay.
Then I started playing.
And where'd you get drums to play? Because your dad had them around.
No, actually, I started just air drumming all over the sofa or whatever. Mm-hmm. And my family then bought me the first drum kit for baby. So basically I started when I was 4 or 5. And then I went to some drum school and I started reading music.
And what age are we at that point?
Around 6, 7.
Oh, so very quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. And was that because of your dad that you had that kind of guidance to be able to take those steps that early?
Yeah. I mean, but also my mom, she always pushed me to
I think it's going. Italian mothers, by the way.
Yeah.
Because my mom did the same thing. Yeah. She was very much about taking the right steps.
Yeah.
And there was no such thing, even as a kid, of playing around, so to speak. Yeah. It was like you either do it or you don't.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we have very similar moms.
Yeah. And she cooks very well.
Yeah. I love it. You're 6 or 7 years old, and so how does the drumming journey continue? Take us through to where things start to get interesting.
Basically, I started playing with my dad's band. They used to play a lot of covers from the Beatles, Rolling Stones.
The most fun music to play, really, especially as a kid.
And also, my dad used to have a rhythm and blues band. We used to play, I don't know, from Maceo Parker.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, James Brown, and all that kind of music.
Are you still on the toy drum set at this point? Or you graduate to playing a little more?
Actually, at that point, probably I already switched to a regular drum set.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you in this story?
Around 10.
Okay, so things are happening very fast. You're still really young.
Yeah.
But you're jamming with your dad's band now at 10.
Yeah. Basically, from, I would say, from 7 to 13, I was jamming with my dad, and
And are you also studying lessons at that point too?
Yeah.
And what kind of things are you learning that early?
From rudiments to like
Technique?
Yeah, technique, like Latin stuff. So something out of my comfort zone, because I mean, as a drummer, you gotta be able to do everything.
Right. You have to push yourself.
Yeah,
to learn.
and especially when you're a little kid, you have like you absorb more. Like so I used to study a lot of different styles, and I think that helps a lot.
Absolutely. So after 13, what do you then go out on your own and get another gig?
A friend of mine from school, he showed me for the first time Blink-182. So I discovered Travis
Barker.
And from then it was like a shock. I mean, in a good way.
Right.
And
this is a brand new influence on you at that time.
Yeah.
Who had you been listening to before you discovered Travis?
Actually, as I told you, it was
the classic rock guys?
Yeah, it was more like from Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple,
Beatles, Stones.
Yeah, the Blues Brothers, all that kind of music.
Right.
I used to listen to Steve Ray Vaughan, and I don't know, all that kind of music. I wasn't really into pop or punk music.
Right.
I was very into this type of music.
And then you discover Blink.
Yeah.
And that was a pivotal moment, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, as I told you, I was kind of shocked because, I don't know, I felt like I like it.
Right.
And
the energy and the style, it's very different.
I mean, every generation is on drum icon, and from a kid of my age, Travis was the icon of my generation. Right. So,
and he still is. He's still influencing millions of drummers.
Yeah, definitely.
And so what happens as a result of that? Do you change your drum setup? Do you change your approach? You start learning Blink songs?
Yeah,
like what starts to evolve?
Then I discovered like Green Day,
Trey Cool.
Yeah, I learned a lot of Nirvana songs, and then I discovered Sum 41, all the the punk rock scene of the early 2000s. I changed a lot of my approach with the drums. I started playing with just one tom, one rack tom.
Oh, okay.
I started my first band like we were so young, so we started band like covering, playing Green Day.
So this is the big step from your dad's band to now your own band.
Yeah.
Every drummer starts that journey. I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to make it in my band. And this was your moment.
Yeah. From that point, I always dream of being on tour like this. And so,
And how old are you now, and what year are we in?
I was like around 13, 14.
Okay.
So I went to Blink-182 show in Bologna, in Italy. I went there with my sister, and we were so young. Yeah, I was like 14. She was 21 or something.
And we're in what year now?
It was 2004, 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then what evolves and happens next? Like the next big step as you're going through this new band, discovering Blink, seeing them live, and
basically
keep playing, practicing. What's the next evolution?
I felt like I wanted to do everything more like professional.
Okay.
So I started new bands with older people than me. So
which you learned that from your dad.
Yeah.
That was a great model to see how much more advanced the older guys were.
Yeah, actually I always being surrounded by people older than me since I was a little kid. Actually, I went for my first tour. Like,
oh wow, this is a big break.
Yeah, I was still in the school,
Okay.
and I asked my mom to go to the professors and ask them if I could go on tour. They said yes, and basically, when like, I was 16, and
who's the tour with?
that was my first like professional band. The name of the band was New Up, and we went touring like Eastern Europe. So,
And how did you get the tour at that age? Someone in the band?
yeah,
booked
someone
it?
in the band. They were like, at the time they were like 24, 23. So they got contacts with some promoters. At the time, we had this like independent label helped us to get this tour, basically.
And then were you headlining or opening?
Small shows.
You were headlining, but you were doing small clubs.
Yeah,
Playing to a couple hundred people.
yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
And how long did that tour last?
It was like less than 3 weeks,
Okay.
but
But that's long when you're
Yeah.
16 years old.
yeah,
Yeah.
at that time was a big deal.
And one-nighters.
yeah.
So you're learning now the ropes of touring very young age.
That was like a really good experience. I mean,
And what
far
happens?
from home.
What happens from there? After you come back from that tour, do you finish high school?
Yeah, I finished high school.
And that's really important, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
To finish school and
Yeah.
get the good
Yeah.
education.
that's was my mom.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Again, we have the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
same mold of a mom.
yeah. She always told me, yeah, at least you finished the school.
Right.
I mean, that,
And you did.
yeah.
And then what happened next?
Graduated like from school. After that, I started learning like production. So I used to study all the MIDI and stuff, and some like I did this kind of university of sound. Let's call
In
it
Italy.
in Italy. Yeah. And while I was finished that year, I got a call from a band from Italy, but they were kind of famous all over the Europe.
And what band is this?
The name of the band is Vanilla Sky,
Okay.
like the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically from that point, I always been on the road because they started touring when I was 19. We did our first European tour.
And what kind of places are you playing at this point? Or they're playing?
Bigger venues, like from 1,500
Oh,
cups.
that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So
Yeah.
that's great experience.
Yeah, that's
you're
great.
still a teenager.
Yeah, and I started like touring, and
And what style of music are they? Are they lending to that Travis Barker
yeah.
kind of?
definitely.
Okay, so it was a good fit.
Because actually, the band, before I got in the band, they had this featuring with Mark Opus from Blink-182.
Okay, great.
So that was
It was hand in glove for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how long do you tour with Vanilla Sky, or kind of stay in that?
Actually, for a while. I started with them in 2009, and I did the last tour, the last proper tour with them, 2018. So it's a long.
Yeah, that's a long run. And
Yeah.
you're doing other things in between that?
Yeah, I mean, that was my main, let's say, main job until 2012, 13. Then I decided to play for other artists, like session drummer or whatever.
All based in Italy.
Yeah. Yeah, even though in 2014, I just took a couple of months off, and I went to New York. I went to Drummers Collective,
Okay.
and I had some lessons with some good teachers.
Who is one of your favorite experiences?
Jason Gianni.
And you learned a lot from him.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. Yeah, because I always wanted to learn from a US based drummer, because I always loved the US music culture, So I wanted to learn like live from them, and
it worked. You
Yeah.
actually got a different perspective.
Yeah, definitely. I
Nice.
mean, it was beside the drums point of view. I learned a lot as a human being. So
And New York's such a different city from Rome and from these other
yeah,
places.
definitely.
And what was a big moment for you in between the 2009 and 2018 when you're playing with Vanilla Sky and you're starting to branch off and do these other gigs?
Actually,
What's a big moment that you remember you want to share?
on 2016, I started to play with I would say is the best Italian rapper.
And who is that?
His name is Salmo. So I started playing with him, and to me it was like a game changer. I started
Another game changer.
Yeah, probably the first big step as a session drummer, like, and touring drummer, of course. I finally had the chance to show the people not only part of a band, but I was like on my own as a touring drummer and session drummer. So basically I started my career as live and session drummer.
So this is a big moment and kind of putting you on the map, if you will. Is that what
Yeah,
you would say this moment was?
Yeah, basically yes, because from that point I became like the drummer to call for every gig like this.
And in what region?
It was like in Italy, like from north to south.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in 2017, I moved to Milan just to be sure that everyone knows that I'm there.
Right. And a big move. First time you've lived there, right?
Yeah. As soon as I moved there, I got another call from an Italian band, but they were so famous all over the world. And the band name's The Bloody Beetroots. They are basically a mix between electronic and rock stuff. So they had this huge single together with Steve Aoki, which is one of the
of course
big
sure
DJ. And I started like with them, and we started like European tour. Then we did US tour. We played Japan, South Korea.
All big places.
Yeah, I mean, and I had the chance. I had the chance to play in festivals together with Nine Inch Nails, Queens of the Stone Age, and many more.
Dream come true.
Yeah, basically, I started like sharing dressing rooms and backstage with people like this, and to me it's like it was a big deal back in the time.
Absolutely, it still is.
And
so then what happens to get from now you've already done really just from what you shared 3 huge gigs, right? I mean, artists and tours, and you're getting a ton of experience at a very high level. Not including all the studio stuff and everything else that's just going to make you a better and better player. So how does that transition now to get to Post Malone?
Hey, this is Vinny Colaiuta
and Kimo Williams. Please check out our Red Summer 1919. It's streaming now.
It's a must listen.
Also with Mike Stern, Richard Bona, and Michael Brecker. Find out more at jkimowilliams.com.
One day I woke up and I told my girlfriend, I want to play with Post Malone. It sounds naive, I know, but...
And it's literally that out of the blue as far as her hearing it and you're saying it.
Yeah, I mean...
You make a declaration.
Yeah, and I told her, like, I gotta find a way to get close to him. So I started doing my research, and I discovered that monitor engineer from the Bloody Beetroots was on tour with Post Malone. Actually, he was on tour with 21 Savage, who was opening for Post Malone. So through my drum tech, Andrea, back in the days, I got in contact with this guy, with this monitoring engineer, and asked him if I could join any show of the tour. And he said, "Man, you're family. Please come." So I got this pass from a show in Baltimore. So back at the time I was in Los Angeles, and flew from LA to Baltimore just for the show. And he gave me this pass. As you saw before, he just came and
Post just walks around.
Yeah,
and seems like a very nice guy, by the way. I
he-
met him for 1 second, and he was very nice.
he is one of a kind. I mean, it's so humble. It's the best. And
So, do you meet him in Baltimore?
yeah, and I went to him and I told him like, "Hello, I'm Jacopo. I'm a drummer from Rome." It was like, "Rome, it's my favorite city. I want to go there. I want to buy a house over there, and I want to ride Vespas all day long and drinking Italian wine all day long." I was like, "Say no more. Please come." Yeah, and basically I show him a video of me playing one of his track, and it was really into this video. Like, it was very focused on that. After the video finished, he took my phone and he gave me his number. So he told me, we gotta jam together. We gotta, play some music together. I was like, "Man, yes, please." After that, I texted him a couple of times, but I didn't want to be like invasive, like,
Or pushy.
yeah, like,
At that point, you've manifested it, but you've got to kind of let it play out.
yeah. And I was lucky enough that I got close to his team, like the production manager, Dennis.
Who's still with him?
Yeah. And with Willie, which is the playback engineer. So basically, I got in contact with them. So that time in Baltimore, he came to play a show in Rome. We hang out like the day before the show. We went riding Vespas and
Just like he said.
Yeah. We spent an amazing day together, like just having fun. After that, we both played the same festival in Madrid. So basically, I don't know, maybe he saw me in a professional context, because we were playing the same show, the same festival.
Same day.
Yeah, no, 2 different days, but still, I mean,
But he could see you.
we were there for the same reason. And then, I don't know, probably it was in Rome. He promised me that, he said something like, "When I start the band, you will be the drummer." And I was, okay, I can't wait to start this. But it didn't happen for a long time. I mean, from 2018 until now.
Okay. We have COVID, which stops everything.
Yeah, basically, you can consider that 2
Right.
years
Yeah,
of
at least,
pandemic.
At least, yeah. So when does he call you that this starts?
Basically, last year,
In 2022.
he came to Rome to do a secret show, acoustic show. And then I discovered that he was doing a new album, which is
Is that Austin? Is that what's out now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, he told me that this album is more like organic, like more guitars, more real drums. So at that time, I was hoping that,
that this would be the catalyst to start the band.
And basically it was, because I went to see him playing in Dublin last May. and I was there with the production manager Dennis and Willie, the playback engineer. And after 2 days, I got this message from them: if you have a visa, we can make it happen. So I started like struggling so much with the visa because it's such a big deal.
Yeah, it's a long process.
Yeah, it's a long process, but thanks to my attorney, we made it in 12 days, which is
That's unheard of.
yeah,
Wow.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah. It was meant to be.
Yeah, actually yes, and now I'm here.
Wow. And is it playing out the way you had envisioned when you declared you were going to play with Post Malone? Does it feel as great as you had hoped it would?
I think it's even better. I have like high expectation, but this is
It's
way
even better.
It's even better.
So the band is rocking.
Yeah,
Post is amazing.
yeah, also all the crew is very, they are all amazing. I mean, they are so nice to us and
Professional.
yeah.
So how long do you rehearse to get ready to go out on the tour?
We did like 2 intense weeks of rehearsals.
In LA?
No, in Salt Lake City.
Oh, Salt Lake City.
Yeah, he lives there now.
Okay.
So he wanted to be around
Sure.
home. We rehearsed there, in Salt Lake City together with the musical directors. They are from UK. The name of the company is WFB. I really enjoyed work with them, both with William and James.
Are they on the tour?
Or
they just got it rolling?
They just left.
Okay. So they got everything rolling and now you guys are good to go.
We did very two very intense weeks of preparation.
Now the tour's rolling and things are great.
Yeah, everything is going pretty well. I mean, I'm so happy about everything. I mean,
and what's the best experience so far you can share? What's a great story from your time with Post Malone these last few months?
Probably the first day of rehearsals with him. That was the moment in which I felt like, oh my God, this is real. And of course, the first show, because after all the struggling with visa and after all the rehearsals, it was like finally we can just play. I would say the first day of rehearsals with him, and probably also the show in Boston, because I had one of my best friends over there. So I was so happy finally to show to my friends that I'm here.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
Yeah, I cannot wait to play Dallas as well, because my girlfriend will come there. So
it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
So have you pursued your passion for sound and MIDI and the electronics? Has that been something that kind of has gone in parallel with your journey? Because you talked about how you went and studied it. And so how's that applied to what you're doing now and your journey up until now?
I really like to do my own drum mixes when I'm in studio. So it's something that I apply more when I'm in the studio.
Where you'll actually work on the sound.
Yeah.
You'll actually get behind the console and make decisions like as an engineer does.
Yeah. I would say that I'm good. Like I'm doing the sound of my drums. I don't want to say that I'm a sound engineer. Like I know how to make my drums sound good. But
and you understand enough about it now from your studies. About microphones, placement, mic pre's.
Yeah. Sometimes I just go random, like just what I feel, and sometimes works, sometimes don't.
Modern Drummer magazine. What does it mean to you? What's your history with our magazine?
Actually,
now in its 47th year.
Yeah. Actually, I always since when I was a little kid, I used to buy the Modern Drummer and try. When I was a little kid, I was trying to translate because, of course, it was in English. And there's when I used to live with my parents, there's our neighbor that he was really good at English. So I use him like
he was the translator.
Yeah, like help me to translate everything. So this is basically.
So you go back a long ways with the magazine.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it means the world for me to be here together with you because
it means the world for us to have you here.
I mean,
that's what Modern Drummer is all about: community, celebrating.
Yeah, as a drummer, it's a dream come true. It's unbelievable. I mean,
well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
What do you want to share with all the drummers out there? Kind of the lesson that you've learned or the advice that you would give so that others can learn from what you've experienced and gone through.
It might be like something heavy to say, but if you guys don't have a plan B and you focus on your plan A, just go straight. That's it. I mean,
because you believe it works.
Yeah.
If it's do or die, you do.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, you heard it. So, Jacopo, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
right,
for having me.
David Frangioni, Modern Drummer, backstage, Post Malone, Modern Drummer podcast. We'll see you soon.